Hi guys, my name's Steve, and in this video I'm going to show you all of my mistakes that I've made in my Top Shot journey. And my hope for this video is that it helps you navigate this dip so we can see some good times again, and I believe we will. So first, let's get into where we're at the moment. This chart is the market gap graph, and what it shows is kind of what we've been feeling and seeing in this big dip here. Interestingly, towards the end here, we're seeing a slight rise. I've seen this in some moments that I've been looking at and tracking. For instance, James Harden, this common one, it went all the way down to 20, which is ridiculous. I've seen it go up to, can't remember now, 40 or 50. And now it's leveled off at about 25. Steph, he was rising. He was at 60. He went all the way down to 29.30, and now he's sitting at 36. I'm just looking at some of the commons because there's a lot of data there, and it's easy to sort of navigate. Jokic, which is part of the All-Stars pack, when he started, I actually got him. I was lucky to get him in my All-Stars pack, and he started selling straight away at 700, and then bang, 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 kept going down and down and down, and now he's sitting at 350. What I was also going to look at was Zion. Same thing happened to him. Because he's Zion, he went to 60 odd, and then he came back down to 42 with this sort of level off. He went down I saw him in the high 30s. So like I said, maybe there's a slight little rise, but also there's been not much from Top Shot. There's been not much activity. We had the Cool Cats drop, but we didn't have any badges or any announcements coming up and so on. And so the state of play at the moment is a little bit, well, everyone's feeling the dip. Let's put it that way. You can sort of see the market over here on the left, just off screen, which I can't get back, it seems, on this website, is where we had a really high rise of sales, basically. And that's when everything was valued at its highest on February the 22nd, 23rd. And then it sort of came back down to earth and gave us a correction, basically. This rise here is the transactions when Top Shot announced that for one of the drops, the All-Star drops, you were going to need 3 moments. And then everyone went and bought 3 moments, the ones that didn't have already. And ever since then, it's been flowing along like this. Now, what I wanted to look at was some of my moments and some of my mistakes, because what I learned in that peak period where things were selling really high, I think will help all of us now in how we react. Basically, I did the opposite wrong thing. So I started my journey in January, and there were no packs. So I dipped my toes in the water and I bought Ja Morant for $26. He's now hovering around 80, but he was at 400. Some would say I should have sold him at 400, but bear with me here, because if I had the benefit of hindsight, I would have done a lot of things different, which you'll hear. I was early enough to get a gift and another pack, which Joel Embiid came in. I bought Clarkson because he's still my hunch for 6th man of the year. That's not looking at the worst purchase, but I bought LeBron James for about $480. Because in this era, when things were rising over here, I'm going to zoom into the transactions of the history of this moment. I bought him, well, before that, it was sort of around here, and he was starting to rise, and I could see it, and it was rising and going and going. And then everyone was in land grab mode. They were all buying because, well, there's a lot of sheep in the marketplace. People do what everyone else is doing, and we're all on board, and then we're doing that thing. And Aaron Gordon gets in trading, so we're all buying those moments. And then LeBron 3-pointers going to the moon, so we're all buying those moments. And it was a land grab, and that's the attitude that people had towards it. The problem with that is I then took that attitude and took it a bit further, and I was completely wrong. I brought Bradley Beal because he's the NBA's highest scoring so far this season. I had a bit of an error. I didn't think I bought him, but I did, and I somehow got 2 of them. I didn't mean to do that, but I did. I got Maxi Kleber because people were talking about the associated moment. So Luka gives Maxi Kleber the assist. He hits the 3 for the game winner. Luka's in the moment. Everyone's thinking, well, it's kind of like a Luka moment or a Luka assist moment. I am not seeing any value in associated, superstars being in your moments. I've also got a PJ Washington Cool Cats moment. It's an assist from LaMelo Ball. Before his wrist injury, LaMelo Ball was one of the Ferraris in Top Shot, a huge amount of value, and he's the master challenge at the moment for the Cool Cats. PJ Washington at one point was sitting at like $900. Now it's worth stuff all at, you can see I put it for sale when it was $439, and then it quickly got undercut, and now it's sitting at something stupid like $70. If I sold it then, I could have had flexibility in Dapper Balance that I could have utilized in further pack drops, and especially this dip right now. Same with what happened to me with LeBron. LeBron, I could have cashed in, look at that, 2,500, let's just say 2,500. And ever since then, we've had cooldowns, we've had a limited amount of users allowed to sign up to Top Shot, and all of these things have affected the marketplace, not to mention some of the bugs, maybe some of the issues we're having. And look, someone snapped him up for 420 today. 420, that's the lowest I've seen it. And I think currently it's sitting at 699, so it has slightly corrected. And it's a bit of a good gauge of this one, just to see the pink trends and where they're going. I know the pink trends are the 7,500 moments, serial numbers and above, but they just give you a nice bright chart to look at. And when you look at the 0 to 1,500 serial numbers, you get a lot of scatter. So it just doesn't show the trend quite as much. So let's look at the last couple of days, and you can sort of see, man, could you imagine if I cashed in at $2,500? Now, I know it's a collecting game, but right now I could have collected another 5 of them or another 4 of them, as opposed to holding that one moment, which I did. And it holds some value to me. I don't want to let it go. But at the same time, I could just see that $6.99 sitting in my Dapper Balance, and then there being a legendary pack drop, and then I'm just going to, and then I could just Dapper Balance it and not have to worry about withdrawing any more funds. And that's what that gives you, to let go of one moment, to allow you to have that liquid there to spend in pack drops or opportunities. So right now, are there opportunities? I think so. Like I mentioned, I got Jokic from the All-Stars pack, and I went against the grain, against my natural instinct, and I flipped him almost straight away for 580. And ever since then, I've had a huge amount of flexibility to move on opportunities and bounce when I get the chance. Now, I'm not saying flip everything. I'm saying keep what you hold value, collect what you like, and maybe move on what you don't love. Now I'm thinking the All-Stars have come down so much, I can reacquire them for when we start to see an upturn, and maybe even do a challenge or something like that, because I've got that flexibility now. So the mistakes I mainly made was during that high rise. I was buying in the high. I wasn't buying on the low. Another example of this is the Kelly Oubre I bought. Where is he? This was the biggest mistake I made. And I like Steph Curry, but I bought Kelly Oubre because I couldn't afford Steph Curry in the high time. It made absolutely no sense, but that's what I did because everyone was in that land grab mode. I've got to get into the land grab. I've got to get my foot in the door. Ever since then, I think Harden is undervalued, so I've snapped up a few of them. I think some rookies are undervalued, so I snapped up a few of them. And right now I'm thinking I might snap up a few more as well. So I'm not saying that you should go out and buy now, but I am saying that you should go out and educate yourself in terms of what you think is valuable now, if anything, or do you require flexibility now? So moving forward, you can afford those pack drops from your Dapper Balance or any other opportunity you might see. Maybe those rookie badges come out and that's the last straw and you want to get a rookie and you might see it appreciate. Maybe you just want to secure something that you just like. I'm all for that. What I am saying is don't go with the wind all the time. Don't react to the market or do everything that they're just doing. Make educated decisions, and sometimes not doing anything is the right play, as long as you're not doing anything out of fear of missing out or greed. If you're making decisions based on fact and research, go for it. But if you're not acting out of emotion, that's a good sign. Now, right now, I'm thinking I'm overall positive because we all believe in Top Shot. We know they've not done any marketing yet. We know that it's got a huge amount of potential, but it's a bit flat at the moment. It's true, it's flat. I see this as an opportunity, and it reminds me a lot of when I bought Jara Morant for $20. Right now, there's a lot of superstars for $20. There's a lot of Series 1 that are lowest that there ever been. There's a lot of LE moments that are the lowest they've ever been, and there's some rare moments that are the lowest that they've been for a long time. There is opportunity there if you have the flexibility to do it and you've done the research to justify it. Those two things are the key that I really want to get across to you. Make sure you're not acting out of emotion. Do your research and then act on that research. They are my mistakes that I have made in the past, and most of them were acting out of greed. I need to buy this land grab, and fear of missing out in that I've got to get all the moments before they're all gone. They are bad ways to think, and I still make mistakes. You can't get every decision right. And if someone says they know exactly what the market's going to do, or they know what's going to happen, they are wrong. But there are some characteristics that the marketplace have shown us that history would suggest it's going to repeat itself. And they're basic candle in the wind things, like what happened with Anthony Edwards when LaMelo Ball's wrist injury was announced. Anthony Edwards' moment went from 120 to whoosh, 200, and then leveled out and landed at about 150. But some people were taking that opportunity and then flipping that extra $70. And that is smart. That's $70. That's a few packs in your Dapper balance. So like I said, as long as you're making informed decisions based on fact and not emotion, you will be all right in this dip. Anyway, I hope this video was valuable. These are some of the things I've learned in my mistakes over the past time on Top Shot. Let me know in the comments some of the mistakes you've made so we can all learn together. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up for me. Cheers. See ya.